Have you ever come across a class where you are flooded with constructors, getters, and setters? Most of the times, we completely get confused about why a simple class has become so bloated with a boilerplate code. This makes updating and understanding the code a real problem, but fear not. By using Lombok annotations, we can eliminate boilerplate code and achieve cleaner and more maintainable classes. But before that, let's understand what is Lombok and how to set up a Lombok in our Spring Boot project. Lombok is a Java library that helps reduce boilerplate code in Java applications. It automatically generates getter, setter, constructor, and other methods during compilation. Lombok uses annotations to generate the code. Some of the most commonly used annotations are at getter, at setter, at toString, at equals and hashCode, at no args constructor, at all args constructor, here args are arguments, at data, at builder, and at Slf4j logger. Now let's see how to set up a Lombok. Go to your build.gradle if you are using a Gradle project, or if you are using a Maven project, go to form.xml. You simply need to add this Lombok dependency over here. You can add this usually in Spring Initializer itself, or if you want to add it in already existing project, you can go to mavenrepository.com website and find the Lombok dependency over there. In this class, I have not added any constructor or getters and setters, but I have only added these Lombok annotations. This getter annotation will make sure to generate getters for all the variables. Setters will generate setters for all the variables. toString will concatenate the variable names and the value which we set for each variable. And similarly, equals and hashCode will behave as a default way. And noargs constructor means a empty constructor, and all arguments constructor is a constructor which contains each and every variable within a given class. Let's say where you don't want to set the value for a particular variable. We can use setter and set access level to none. So once we do that, I will show you how it looks. As you can see, we will not be able to update the phone number. Let's remove it. We can also include these 4 annotations into a single Lombok annotation by using @data. Data is also a Lombok annotation. As you can see, it is equivalent to getter, setter, toString, equals and hashCode, which we had added earlier. I have created an object for employee, and I am setting the values using @setter, that is set ID, set first name, set last name. So this is not a difference from our traditional way of generating a getters and setters. It will behave as same. And let's go for Lombok example where this is the same approach where I'm setting using set ID, set first name, set last name. If you are thinking if there is a way in Lombok to set the values in even more easier way, then you are right. By adding this single line, we can skip this traditional way of setting the values for each variable, and then we can use this new way to set the values for each of the variables of a particular class. As you can see, this is a builder DTO class which I've shown here. Once we have added this builder annotation, we will be able to see this method, and inside this method, and we can set each value one by one. And finally, we need to add .build. Then when we try to print the values, this will give us the exact same output. Now let's test the output for all the 3. Here is the output. Employee is the traditional way of creating a DTO classes. Employee with Lombok is a class where we have used @data and Lombok annotations. And employee with Lombok and builder is a class where we have added @data and also @builder annotations. If you see, all 3 are printing the same output. Only difference is by using Lombok, we can remove the boilerplate code and achieve cleaner and maintainable code. By using Lombok, we can also add loggers to our class. We can just add this annotation at the top and then directly use log.info, log.warn, and log.error inside any method within the class. We only need this one line of code in a particular class to use the logger. Now let's run this example. Ignore these messages at the top, but focus on the last three messages in the console, where it is printing the log as per the messages which we have added here. And also I would like to explain one more annotation, that is at with. Now let's see how does this at with annotation behave. The at with annotation in Lombok generates with method for each field. For example, it will be like with ID, with first name, with last name. I will show you an example where you can understand this at with in a better way. Let's say I already have a builder which is already existing as explained earlier, and I need to update a particular value without using a builder or a build. We can achieve that using with annotation. At with annotation will return a copy of the object. So in this example, as I've added at with annotation in the class and the variable name is active, this will return the copy of this builder class above. So when we print this, all the values will be same except is active false. Let's say if I need to update the first name, then let's see how to do that. With first name, the first name is John. Now let's change it to Alex. And if you notice, the first name is changed as we have changed it using with annotation. And as I explained earlier, by using with annotation, it will be suffixed with the variable name with first name, with active, and here it will be something like a with profile picture, with gender, etc. At with annotation is useful for creating modified copies of an object without altering the original instance. As you already see, the instance which was already existing is not changed, but using with, it creates modified copy of the changes which we have done in a given variable. In most of the cases, using builder would be more than enough, but if you want to explore at with and its uses, you can look into the official documents of it. Thank you for watching.